is simple and vitally important. We are at a turning point in our history. What can we do? First of all, I got a lot of personal advice, and I want to share with you what I've heard, and then we can change our course.
I guess I have to start off by thinking Colossal is crazy.
I was doing it for my own entertainment. But if it makes you feel better, I feel bad for calling you a rat all those many times.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
As it was
You're
his
right,
comment that no one wants to hear about YouTube from a 40-year-old that inspired me to make this series. Initially, his comment made some sense, as really what 20-year-old who grew up with YouTube really wants to hear an old fart's commentary. But when I mentioned Logan Paul to a colleague, and she responded with, "Who?" I was a bit incredulous. How is it possible that she didn't know who the Maverick was? And that is when I realized that there is an audience for a 40-year-old talking about YouTube, and that is other parents. Parents are busy people. They don't have a bunch of time, so they need to prioritize their activities. As such, many have ignored YouTube, as most adults view it as a harmless time waster, filled only with joviality and cat videos. But the truth is, YouTube is far from the benign place that many adults believe it to be, and it is increasingly becoming the go-to media source for youth. My children don't watch TV. They follow YouTubers. For my kids, YouTube is essentially filling the role that TV had in my past. The problem is, unlike when I was young, parents and children no longer inhabit the same media space. When I was a child, my parents were aware of what I was watching on TV, and they watched it too. But that is not the case today, as increasingly parents are unaware of the content their children are exposed to. When I was a child, my mom knew that I liked Mr. Rogers, and as such, she could make a judgment on if I should be exposed to the messages that show contained. But now, how many parents actually understand YouTube?
I'm not very good at it.
As a result, parents are not familiar with the messaging their children are consuming. Of course, my mom never would have objected to Mr. R, as he was a man that helped children make sense of the world around them, a world that was scary, unfamiliar, and needed some guidance to navigate. But she might have had a real problem with Logan Paul. So this is where I come in. I've always really liked media, and have increasingly spent my leisure time on YouTube. So I'll act as your Mr. Rogers, but for YouTube. I will try to make sense of this new and unfamiliar world for you. Why me? Because I'm interested. As a teacher, I've always spent my time immersed in the media world of my students. Because like you, I'm busy, so I'll try to keep it as short and to the point as I possibly can. But most importantly, because I share your worldview. As a dad, I want to understand what my kids are watching and steer them away from the dangerous parts of YouTube. I want to share what I learn and think with you because, frankly, I don't want no 20-year-old to tell me about YouTube. My plan is to upload a video every 2 weeks. Let's say on Sunday. If you're interested in hearing what I have to say, subscribe.